I just am an Apple guy,
Apple,
so I listen.
Yeah.
What was that face?
No,
the listeners can't see that, but man, that was a.
No, I am an Apple enthusiast, but I really like Overcast.
I've never used Overcast. My kids use Spotify for everything. They're like, and they argue with me, and then they put it on in the car, like they connect to Bluetooth, and then the ads come up from Spotify, and I'm like, why are you Apple Music? It's like no ads, just whatever you want, but it doesn't have our playlists or whatever. Hey, everybody, welcome to church. My voice cracked right there.
That'll be a good cold open, though.
That's a good start.
Yep.
Welcome to Church Chat. What a mess. We're so glad that you're joining us for this podcast, a part of the EFCA East podcast family. Church Chat.
Church Chat.
And I'm here with Emily Gardner. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Josh.
What's going on?
Nada. It's just Monday.
Monday.
It is. It's a Monday.
And we're on here to record the very first trailer kind of episode about Church Chat. And we have a goal, right? So our goal for this episode is, if we can actually pull it off, is to just introduce this brand new thing we're doing to our listeners.
Yes, which we've been sitting on for quite a while, I feel like.
This has been ruminating. Is that the right word?
Yeah. It's been ruminating, percolating, whatever you want to call it.
You are the wordsmith, so I'll let you call it whatever you want to call it.
No, I liked ruminating. That was good.
Ruminating. Yeah, we've had this kind of in the back burner, and I've been really excited about it because part of me as a leader craves, I love podcasts. I just need something different.
Yes. Not the same old leadership tell you what you need to be doing better.
Yeah. I don't want another leadership podcast. There's so many of them out there. I feel like every lead pastor with a name has leadership podcast after it somewhere.
Yeah.
On the internet. And I don't need some other uptight church leadership podcast. I just don't need it. I don't want it. So I'm looking for something fresh, and I think we're kind of onto it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Emily Gardner. I have been working for the district since 2016 as a communications person, and my what's it called? Oh my gosh, my educational background. That's basically what it is. I was an English major, and I married a pastor, Tim, who started as a youth pastor when we first got married. He did youth ministry in Idaho, which was where our son was born. And then we moved to Pennsylvania, where he was a youth pastor. And right before the pandemic hit, we moved to upstate New York, near Saratoga Springs, and he is a campus pastor at a church, not an EFCA church, but a non-denominational multi-site church.
Very similar.
Yeah, it is very similar. Very similar.
They would slide right in.
Yes.
I feel like it's just name semantics.
Yes, but very similar vibe. So, and I volunteer with our kids ministry and do ministry adjacent things for our church, and just trying to live life as a pastor's family in a healthy way. So,
born and raised in California, right?
Yes. Forgot that point. I was born and raised in Southern California, and then went to school in Missouri, which, why would you go to school in Missouri? But my uncle, who I'm really close to, was pastor out there, and I just really wanted to do something different. So, and then, moved about. But now we're in East Coast strong.
What a journey. California, Missouri, Allentown, New York.
Yeah, with Idaho in there. We cannot forget northern Idaho. Mm-hmm. That was a journey.
That sounds like a story.
Let me tell you.
That sounds like a story we might get into in one of these podcasts.
Maybe at some point. Mm-hmm.
And you do. Our district is the EFCA East, a district of the Evangelical Free Church of America. For those listeners that aren't aware and just picking us up on Spotify or
Yes.
Apple Podcasts or something. But the communicate, and you do a phenomenal job with communications, directing, website development, graphic design. You are very good at all of that stuff. And man, and our district has been so blessed by you. And you have such a unique perspective, like, because of how deep you have been into ministry for so long, but from like a different perspective than maybe what most of our listeners are kind of like used to.
Yeah, it's a little bit non-traditional, but I think we're a good balance. So, I mean, obviously I know who you are, but who are you, Josh Ott?
So my name is Josh Ott, and I wear lots of hats. I'm a lead pastor. I've been a lead pastor since 2016. I'm not even going to be able to do the math. Before that, I was in youth ministry for a long time. But I'm not old. Like, I have a lot of, I know they're not watching, they're just listening. So I feel like I need to say that. Like, I've been in ministry, seems like forever. I should be older. I feel older. I'm just not older.
Yeah.
I'm older than you.
True.
So I'm Generation X.
And I am an elder millennial. Maybe not fully elder, but I'm a solid millennial.
You're solid.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle.
Yes.
Representing.
Gotta represent. Mm-hmm.
And so we promise we will get some guests who are boomers and Generation Z.
Yes. They also need to represent.
We're going to get other representations, but we got the basis covered. And so I am a lead pastor. I've been a youth pastor. I grew up a PK, so I have that unique and traumatizing experience. and I have, my wonderful, beautiful wife, Jen, my kids, and just navigating that whole space is really interesting and difficult and challenging. I'm not quite sure, like the boundaries between family and church, and how to raise your family without wounding them at the hands of the church and all those kind of things. But I also am a strategy specialist for our district. So I get the unique blessing and opportunity to speak into a lot of initiatives that we get to do, and a lot of the ways we're kind of like charging into the future, which is really something I love. I've developed courses on things like preaching and speaking, how to leverage online stuff to reach more people. I'm a communicator, so I like speak at camps and do that kind of whole thing. I feel like I have a pretty broad perspective on this whole deal that we're in the middle of.
Absolutely.
And I'm just hoping to help spark some conversations maybe. And I cannot help but be transparent, sometimes to a fault. Should I apologize now for that?
No apologies needed. Well, that's the whole point of this podcast.
Just wait and see.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's talk a little bit not about us.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about church chat.
Which, ding, 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 extra points for you if you get our reference.
Figure out, if you can figure it, the references should not be that difficult for some of our listeners to figure out. Yeah. But it's direct. We're paying homage to some funny stuff. And that's intentional because we want this to be fun.
Yes, we want to set the tone that this is not intense or overly serious.
And what we're not going to take ourselves too seriously, but what we are going to do is we're going to look at and try to have conversations that I wish we were. I think, what's our tagline?
So, church chat, the conversations about ministry you wish you were having. Yeah.
And that's because, like, these are conversations I wish I had with people or got to listen in on 5-10 years ago. Man, it would have been very helpful for me.
Yeah.
So we're going to have these conversations with people from throughout our district, with some of the leaders, other leaders we know, but also people that aren't leaders that have unique perspective on challenges in ministry and unique stories to tell. We're going to ask them really hard questions. We're going to try to push in and have real conversations and be really transparent about real stuff in ministry. This is not like a leadership podcast. It's, what do you say? You called it?
Well, so we're attempting to be like theology and leadership adjacent. It is not going to be direct. We're not trying to change people's minds per se. We just want to have open and honest conversations about things that are really difficult to talk about when you like live and breathe faith and church and ministry. Like it can feel like an unsafe space to have questions, especially if you are not like the leaderest of leaders in your church. It's not always a safe place to talk about why are we doing this or what's the deal with this when your job could be on the line. So
yeah,
hopefully our jobs will not be on the line having these conversations.
I warned our leadership. I said, hey guys, like, so this podcast, this is what we're thinking, and they were all excited about it, really pumped up. And I did say, like, hey, it might though, like, responsibly push some buttons. Like that's, like we're not intentionally trying to rile anybody up, but we want to get real and be transparent and have fun while doing it. So listener beware.
Yes.
I love that. Leadership adjacent, theologically adjacent topic. So we're not going to address theology.
That's what the theology of refresher is for.
Yeah, and you should go to that. And it might come up in certain conversations we have, because obviously our theology drives what we do.
Exactly.
It's leadership adjacent. So we're not going to talk. It's not going to be 5 ways to develop your leadership's whatever swagger. But I'm sure that we'll have conversations that may help you pull something that does help your leadership. What this is we want to be fun, transparent. We want this to be useful too. So we do want to be able to have conversations that you can take something away from that will help you either at home or in your workplace or relationships.
Yeah, and we want to highlight, our district is big. We have 130-ish churches and are adding more, and that's a whole lot of experience just within all those leaders and ministries. So we really want to, a lot of you guys are doing some cool stuff, and we want to talk to you about it. We are talking to other guests. Did we mention that? It won't just be us two chatting.
That's a good thing, probably.
I know, probably.
So yeah, we're intending on having some really cool and incredible guests. We started building the list already. We're going to be recording some of these hopefully in the near future and launching them. By the time you're listening to this, we'll probably have some teed up and ready to go. We're just going to have guests on and have real good conversations about and ask some really difficult questions. And I'm excited about it because, I think any kind of in community, people are a gift and they're our greatest resource. And so I'm excited to have some people on here that maybe you have never seen on a stage before, just real people doing real life and real ministry to have real conversations. And I'm excited about that because it won't just be us.
Yeah, that would be.
Who wants to just listen? Who wants to just listen to us? And we're going to have a lot of fun on the journey too. So, do you have any other thoughts about church chat?
No, I don't.
No.
I think we covered it all.
And we're really excited about this. So this is not just for people. This is for anybody. So we're putting this out to the great wide world. Mm-hmm. If you are in ministry in any capacity or related to some SM ministry in any capacity, if you are a student or looking into going into ministry, if you're somebody who's been doing it for a while, or this is just for you. It's for the people. It's not a district thing just for the district. We really want this to be something that helps people who are involved in ministry, no matter where you are.
Yes.
And we're going to have some fun doing it. So Church Chat, we're so glad to be introducing this podcast to you. We hope you subscribe. It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to hit that subscribe button on whatever platform you are listening to this on. Mm-hmm. And we will be on all the platforms.
Yes.
Spotify.
So, okay, I use Overcast. What do you use, Josh, to listen to podcasts?
I just am an Apple guy,
Apple,
so I listen.
Yeah.
What was that face?
No,
the listeners can't see that, but man, that was a.
No, I am an Apple enthusiast, but I really like Overcast.
I've never used Overcast. My kids use Spotify.
Okay.
For everything. They're like, and they argue with me, and then they put it on in the car, like they connect to Bluetooth, and then the ads come up from Spotify, and I'm like, why are you Apple Music? It's like no ads, just whatever you want, but it doesn't have our playlists or whatever.
Yeah, no, I separate my Spotify from my podcast listening. I do not integrate unless we're listening to Chompers, which my kids, who are younger than your children, need help brushing their teeth. And so it's 2 minutes to help them brush their teeth.
Oh, wow.
And that we listen to on Spotify, but everything else is Overcast.
Smart planning.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes 2 minutes to brush your teeth. It's a good reminder for everybody out there.
Yep. Yes, please brush your teeth responsibly. Morning and night. So
that's Church Chat. We're excited to be introducing this to you. Can't wait to introduce you to some of our guests. We are stoked about it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So until next time, see ya.
Peace out. I feel like we need an outro, some sort of tagline. What is that called? Like a slogan? A catchphrase? What is it?
I don't know, but I'm feeling like this is the kind of conversation people at a leadership podcast have. So let's just not have it.
Okay, great.
Because this is Church Chat.
Yes.
And it's different.
So we can just say bye.
Bye.
Yep.